seems both of my hands are on fire. This is Total Reliability 7, Part 2, and you're watching Tasty Classics. Just give me a moment to finish this little bit of welding off and go and put my hands under a cold tap, and I'll be right with you and show you what's happened since Part 1. I've put all new brakes on this thing, so, well, I say new brakes, I haven't replaced the disc and the pads because they're pretty much like new anyway. We're not even a minute into this video yet, and this is going to come back massively to haunt me when we go out for our road trip. Well, they were 20 years ago, but we've had new calipers, and I've put a new hose on this side because the old one was a bit buckled, and also the fittings I've changed. I've done the same with this side, so we've got the new hose there. I've also put a new hose here, and this is a brand new caliper also. This caliper was £165. That's a lot of money for a brake caliper for an old Triumph TR7, but they were a little bit unobtainium, so I've had to just buy that one. I've just done a cheeky little welding patch on there because there was a big hole there, so I've just sort of tidied that up. The new owner is going to need to change this wing, but ideally I think the whole car should be put back to the silver that it was, so I'm not going to do any of the sort of body work or anything. That's for the new owner, which could be one of you guys, because this car is up for raffle once I've made it Total Reliability 7 and done all of the other stuff. Now, this is my mate's car in silver, which I think is close to the original colour that this would be, and I just think it looks stunning. And for a few weekends work of sort of sanding down and filling holes and stuff and that type of thing, you know, you could go and get this car painted in the silver, because there's not loads of it to paint because it's a soft top as well, isn't it? You know, so there's not loads of real estate to sort of do there, but it would look so good. I'm going to clean the wheels up in this episode. We're going to paint the hubcaps. We're going to make those all nice, so at least it looks a little bit smarter than it does now. And then there's a raft of other parts for us to fit to the car. And I've got a few things like little bulbs and stuff, and we are having a little running issue with the car. It's not Total Reliability yet, but we're going to get into that later on, which is why I've got all these items. And do you remember the oil filter that was leaking? We've got a spin-on oil filter adapter, which we're going to fit. First, I've got 2 more welding patches to do that I said I would do, just to, again, make the car a little bit more solid. But they're engine bay side, so I need to drop the car down and we'll have a look at those. Do you know how many takes it took to do the hands on fire thing? I'm going to include them all at the end of the video, little bloopers for you to see, just for fun. This is numero uno, welding patch, which I need to do, which has already been cut out for me bizarrely, but that's fine. So I'm just going to do a nice little on that. There's also this here, so I'm just going to cut that and put a little plate over that, tiny little one. And if you feast your eyes into this corner here, you will see that there is a hole where there ain't supposed to be one. So we're going to cut a little L bracket and we're going to weld it onto that. Should be nice. And then it's going to be pretty solid. The only thing, as I said, you really need to do is this wing and maybe a couple of other little, you know, bodyworky style welding jobs, but tiny, tiny little ones, if that, which you could probably weld with fiberglass if you really wanted, which I wouldn't recommend, of course. Do a proper job. Everything else is going well with it though. I'm just going to show you the process, of dealing with this little hole here. So we're going to do that together, and then these other 2 I'm just going to box off because it's very difficult to film welding up close because I have all my gear on that sets on fire sometimes and can and does damage my camera. Oh no. So as you can see, this is all very solid, nice, shiny metal. It's just this little tiny bit here. This magnet is a very helpful machine to have around the workplace as well. So you can hold things, put things in gaps like that nicely. And it sort of holds it in place through sheer magic. I'm just going to put a couple of little spots just in the corners there, just to hold this thing in place. The magnet doesn't have to do it anymore. And we'll take that off, zip it all around with the welder, grind it all back if I can get my grinder in here, which I should be able to. And then that'll be it. That'll be one done. On to the next, on to the next, on to the next, on to the next, and so on for the rest of my life. Okay, remember not to stare at this when you do it as well. Thought my welder had finally died then. I do need to get a new one. If you can hear it, it is making funny noises, isn't it? Always remember to turn your gas on as well. For outstanding results. Fantastic, and thankfully in 1736 St. Patrick angle grinder invented what he named after himself, the angle grinder. So thankfully we can turn that into this. Hole? But monsieur, what hole? That one. That's very lovely though, and with a nice sort of bit of filler primer and a lick of paint, that's going to look lovely. From behind, it's still going to be all shiny paint, and if you don't do anything about that, it will rust. But thankfully, we have got perfect access to behind here. So we're going to do these holes and then go up behind, and we're going to give them a bit of coating of paint just to keep them protected. But if I was sort of keeping this for myself, I would be going all over the inside of the wing once everything else is done, like the outer wing put on and stuff, and giving it a good coat of rust protection. But paint will do enough for now. But yeah, happy with that. Absolutely vintage. I've sort of started this one here, cleaning the plate up and everything and getting that ready to go. And just been cleaning this little one here up. And the gas on the welder has died. It was going to die sooner or later. I've had that bottle for quite a long time. So I've sent Smiths a message and they will pick it up tomorrow and send me some gas, because annoyingly it is Sunday today. Yeah, it's getting its smile back. Very nice. I got in early this morning and I did those bits of welding which can't see particularly well, but they're not holes anymore, which is the main thing, isn't it? And I want to show you something. When I find a dreamy tool, I will show you and I will tell you about it. I've just bled all the brakes. With Ellie's help, just bled all the brakes, and it's a rocket pedal now. Absolutely solid. It's just superb. Oh, I haven't mentioned as well, brand spanking new Landvigators. You know, very well-known Landvigator tyres. They're, you know, hugely common. Excellent. But these tools, feast your eyes on these. I'd never heard of these, and they are single-handedly the best thing that's ever happened to me. That goes over your bleed nipple, and in there is a little rubber thing, and then your bleed, you know, pipe thing goes over there. And the idea is that you can move this spanner around, and you just do that, and it essentially takes about 30 seconds to bleed your brakes, and it does such a better job of it because there's no chance of bleed nipples coming off and things when you're moving spanners, or bleed nipples rounding or anything like that. Wasn't that dear, 30, 40 quid. Wow, what a set of tools. I've just done all the brakes on this in like 5 minutes. So good. I wish I'd found that set 20 years ago, but it probably didn't exist 20 years ago. A couple more jobs I need to do on the ramp before we can get it on the deck and start doing more funner stuff. Spin-off adapter Triumph TR7 Stag. This is what we get in that. Looks, I don't know, it looks like it's not going to be too hard to sort of wrap my head around, I'd imagine. Is that threaded? Okay. Apologies for the slight drop in sound quality. Oh, lovely. Ugh. It's not bad. The oil was good. We checked it in episode 1, and the oil was decent in this car, but I'm going to change it anyway because I don't know when it was last changed. But as you can see, it's pretty pretty good colour-wise. Right then, I've just given that a bit of a brake clean. Oh, okay. Wasn't very tight. Maybe we could have just nipped it up and that would have stopped the oil leak. But the spin-on filters are better anyway, so might as well change it. Well, we can, because this is a bit hen fash. Hen fash is old-fashioned in Welsh, by the way. Oh, due a change. Make sure that all the surfaces around it are clean, because we need to make sure we're getting like a proper good permanent seal on this. It says place the large sealing ring in the filter head, which is this here, and I'm pretty sure it didn't actually have one in there, which is maybe why it was leaking. But anyway, that's in. Right, and to make a proper seal, we've got to apply a bit of oil to this O-ring here, and then that goes, can you see? That goes in there, and then this thing, which is your spin-on adapter bit, goes there, and then you tighten all that up. If this works, I mean, it's going to be pretty bloody cool, isn't it? It says you've got to tighten it until it's tight by your hand, and then tighten it a further quarter turn. Right, that's about a quarter. Okay, bit of oil on there. And as it says, spin on, and then give it a bit of the old hand tightness. That didn't, can you see me? That didn't take long at all, did it? You can also have a look at the speedo drive while I'm here. Do you remember that problem? You can see it there. It's now time to stick this rig on the ground. But first, hello, welcome to Blue Peter. This is an hubcap. Now, I don't like black wheels. I just don't. They're not my thing, never really have. They had a resurgence, a bit of a thing a few years ago, and everybody put them on their Golf GTIs, and it just wasn't for me at all. And these hubcaps have been painted black, and I am now going to repaint them silver, because I think they should be silver, and I think the car will look a lot better with silver hubcaps. And my wonderful assistant Ellie spent a little bit of time the other day in between jobs sanding all of these down for me. So all I have to do is give them a quick clean and paint them. But this is just a bit of panel white, which gets rid of any sort of grease and any stuff like that, you know, and anything bad. This is Sealy filler paint primer for no reason whatsoever. It's just whatever they had on the shelf. And you just throw it on, essentially. You don't really have to, because I'm going to give it some coats. Well, I mean, that's probably enough. Make sure you get some in the holes, around all those bits there. Anywhere else I'm missing? Around the edges. It's just filler primer. It will do, it sticks, it's a bit thick. It will do what you want it to do. Okay, we could just leave them yellow, couldn't we? Yellow and blue, that'd be horrendous. There you go, so that's that. I'm just going to leave that to dry, and I'm going to do the other three, and then we'll paint them silver. Just while I'm waiting for that filler primer to dry, let's douse the internals of this engine in this lovely, finest, no expense spared 20W50. It's going to make it super nice. Steady. Oh, try and do it without dropping any, almost. Those of you that follow me on the social medias, Instagram, Facebook and stuff, I've just started filming a video that's going to take me about 8 weeks to finish. And that is me getting my motorcycle driving license, riding license, whatever you want to call it, and getting a motorbike and doing all that fun stuff, start to finish, from a complete novice car enthusiast perspective. So that's going to be a fun video. It's going to take a couple of months to you know, get everything done and get it all filmed and stuff, but it should be a bit of fun. I'm really looking forward to it, especially with summer coming up. Should be nice. Trick is with the colour, like the silver, if you rattle cannon anything, it's just lots and lots of light coats. So that's enough. Let's go and get the other one. But again, just lots of nice, very, very light dustings, and it'll all dry a lot better and quicker. I think she looks $1 million with the silver wheels. I just think silver wheels are just better than black wheels. Much smarter. Brings the whole car up, really. Properly does. As you can hear though, there is a bit of a stuttering. Can you hear that stuttering? It's not running properly, but it's running on all four, so it's not like there's one spark plug or one HT lead. It feels like something either power from the coil, like there's a coil issue and it's just cutting out and giving no spark at all to any of the cylinders, because otherwise it misfires, and it's not misfiring, it's just cutting out entirely. So I've got to sort of have a look at the wiring and stuff and find out what's going on there, because it started up perfectly, started up fine, and it sounds sweet as a nut. So I don't think it's any issues with HT leads or spark plugs. It's got to be something else. So I'm going to have a bit of a play with stuff for a bit, and then when I've found out hopefully what's wrong with it, I'll let you know. But all I'm going to essentially be doing is just playing with wires and multimetering things. Lovely sunshine. I think I've immediately found the issue. I hope. Let's try. So down here, this wire which goes from the coil and is supposed to go to the points, everything looks brand new, points wise and stuff as well. Even the distributor cap, all brand new. I did buy other ones of these just in case, so I'll just throw them in the boot, but this was kind of attached and a bit loose and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and attach it a bit more sort of permanently into there, and then we'll try her again. She certainly fired up instantly. Nice. I'm pretty sure she's fixed. I just thought, now that the brakes work, let's just sort of whip her round the yard. Is that door closed yet? Just make sure the brakes work and the engine works. Oh yes! I had a little play with the speedometer when the car was up in the air, because do you remember in the last episode the speedometer did not work? Now the speedometer does appear to be working. Just fixing everything. 15 mile an hour? Yeah, absolutely superb. Did I tell you as well, the heater works. The heater's beautiful. All the fan and everything, all the stuff that I did down there, all works superb. So you've got nice hot heaters. I don't know if I covered that in part one. This beautiful British classic car has never had the horn, since I've had it anyway. So I bought one. There it is, look, it's very cool. Now, there's no horn in the engine bay. How do I know what the horn wire is? There's all the wires everywhere and stuff. Well, thankfully, we still had this bit of paper, which is great. So I've managed to find out the horn was number 48. I found 48 there, and it says PY next to it. And looking at the code for the colours, P, purple, Y, yellow, and sure enough, down here is a purple and yellow wire. How well you can see that, purple and yellow wire, what ain't attached to nothing, with one side of this wedged into some sort of metal somewhere. When I press the horn, we get 12 volts on the multiple meter. So if I plug the horn into that, it earths through the body, so it's going to be one of these, I'm sure, probably that one there. Pop the horn there, connect that up, and fingers crossed we might go meh, which would be great, because obviously this is a very fast car and we're going to need to warn people to get out of our way. It's a little bit louder than I anticipated. It sounds like a train horn. Listen to this. I had to put an earth on it as well, because it's not one that's supposed to be earth to the car. It's got an earth and a positive on it, which is fine. I've just earthed it to the car, but it's not the right one for the car. It's probably the right one for another Flying Scotsman or something. List of jobs is going down, which is great news. Do have a couple of little things I won't mind doing. One, look at these, dead swanky. So I'm just going to go and throw these onto the car just to tidy that interior up, because that'll make the world of difference. I want to get stuck into the dash and why we haven't got any sort of dash lights and stuff, make one good one over this. I don't think I'm going to do that today, but I do want to have another look at that. And I also want to have a look at the temperature gauge when we do the dashboard and see if it's all connected and stuff, and if it is, I have got a temperature switch there that we could change just to see if that makes any difference. Let's take the speaker grills and this new washer pump over to the car and get them fitted. Bit of a faff to get that going. Just had to like clear all the pipes out and just do normal washer bottle stuff. But anyway, yay, fountains all over the engine. So yeah, fixed, great stuff. I just got to bolt that on. These speaker grills cost me about £6 off eBay, second hand. And it's one of those jobs that takes roughly 60 seconds or maybe a tiny bit more per side, but yet will completely change how the interior looks, because nobody likes to see bare speakers. But a nice set of sexy Pioneer speaker grills, yes please. If you're wondering why the engine is running as well, it's because I'm just sort of testing things. This is Total Reliability 7 and I do want total reliability out of it for whoever its new owner is. So just by leaving it ticking over, I'm able to sort of tell if anything is going to go wrong when I go for my big drive and when anyone comes to pick it up, you know, because you've got to get a car hot to know things. It just looks, you know, from here you open that door, it's just meant to be, isn't it, you know? Much, much, much better. There's two more jobs I need to do, one of which is to try and see what's happening with ignition lights and stuff on the back of this dash. I just want to take it out and go through the other one and just have a little bit of a play. And the other one is put the poppers in this roof that go around the edge, so it's watertight when you leave it outside. And a good way of checking for reliability, because that's what we're going for, total reliability. The car's really hot, it's been running for ages, the fan's been kicking in, I've just been monitoring everything, it's great. Will it restart? Because if a car doesn't restart after it's hot, then you've got problems. Instant startage. Right, I'm going to tuck her back inside and I'm done for the day. Today's started well. I can't do a job. So I've been trying to get my stud down here to go pop into this bit of the roof. I need to do 4 on each side. They're all there. Is that one gone? Oh yeah, I need to put a new one on that. That one's gone. This is what I had with the car. Now I bought these rivets separately. Now I thought it would be a little rivet job. It's very similar to what we did on the Spitfire roof. When I put a brand new roof on the Spitfire, and I thought it was going to be a similar process. It was just going to be a rivet application. However, it ain't. You need the dreaded special tool, which I do not possess. That is the tool that I wanted, but it is well too expensive. I'm not buying that just for this small application. I'm not a vehicle trimmer shop. So I found this. Now this is much more better price wise, and you get 176 things for $14.99. So that's like less than a penny each, I think, is it? Oh no, or like, anyway, it's obviously going to be perfect and absolutely do everything I want it to and not fall to pieces at $14.99, but I've ordered it anyway. I only need to do 8 studs, and it says you can do boats, so let's just see. You know, this is what I want, this is what I need. I've tried to sort of have a go at making something like that, but it's just not possible really without, you know, messing it up, and I don't want to mess it up. Hopefully when that arrives it should be nice and straightforward. I'm not going to spend too long going through all of this because we did cover a lot of it in episode 1, but I need to make more stuff come to life. So when I put the ignition on, you just get nothing. You get absolutely nada. There is a very tiny dim bulb there for fasten seat belts, which does work. When you connect the seat belts it disappears. Let's turn the air off, blowing in my face. So yeah, I've just got to pull all this out and have a bit of a play with it and just see if I can get, if there's missing bulbs or I don't know. We're just going to have a bit of a play with it. About 12 screws and you get here. And the first thing that's interesting, I've just got the car running as well because I want to sort of warm myself up because I'm freezing. Is this tower thing here. This one from the old car is a lot brighter and has a lot more stickers, and you know, you can see everything a lot better. So I'm going to swap that out with this one because this one hasn't got it. I'm just trying to wiggle the other bulbs to see if anything comes back to life, but yeah, nothing so far. I've got the dash to sort of here where I can get to behind it with all the wires still attached. See this plug here, right? So at the moment we've got no fuel gauge, but if I just move the plug to the left to try and get a better contact, you can see all of a sudden we have fuel gauge, and I think temperature gauge as well. I think is working off that plug. So if we disconnect it, yeah, you can see it all dying again, going back down. It's like such a bad plug, bad design of a plug. I'm just going to clean all of the surfaces and pull those pins out of it so they just make a better contact. Easy all that, bloody hell. Right, look at what's happened. Let's jump inside. So, first of all, we have ignition lights, come on, that's what I was after. And we also have these 2 gauges are now working, so I know how much petrol I've got and I know if the battery is charging. Sadly, nil point on tacho and nil point on temperature gauge. I'm sure with a bit more looking into it I could probably figure it out. There's a green wire in the engine bay somewhere, but I have run out of time. The tacho did come to life a couple of times and then it stopped, so I'm not sure 100% what is going on there. But you know, you can hear the engine, it's fine. So ignition and lovely stuff. Look at that. Look how much petrol's in there, it's amazing. But that's not all I've fixed. So I've had a little play under the bonnet because there was one thing that you may not have noticed, but I certainly did. And that was that the headlights were up all the time, they didn't fall back down. But now, after a little bit of engineering, I mean, they are at slightly different speeds, but they raise and lower. Pop-up headlights are the coolest thing in the world, and now this car has 2 of them, which is super exciting, that go up and go down. So when you see another TR7 on the road, you can flash them. Very cool. Total Reliability 7 is ready for her road trip to the British Motor Museum, which I promised you in episode 1, and I'm very excited to get underway, but I've got to go and pull a car out of a garage that's been sat in there for 30 years and try and get it running. So it might take me a little while before I can get a chance to get behind the wheel and go. So for you, a few seconds, and for me, a few days. Things just very nearly went very wrong. Thank God I'm sort of quick off the mark and I don't tighten my batteries down properly. So let me show you just what I just had to deal with. I'm due to head out tomorrow morning to go to the British Motor Museum. Just had a clearance from them to do some filming. They're going to meet me there, some TR7s and stuff. It's going to be great. However, I thought I'll just go and put some fuel in the car, make sure everything's okay for the morning. Took it out, and yeah, it was having a bit of a stutter under full load, so I was like, oh, right, okay. So I brought it back, and I was messing about with the service inside the stuff, so all the electrics, put some new bits on it, tidied some stuff up, new distributor, cleaning the top of where the rotor arm goes, etc. And then I decided to put a new battery in it, because the old battery, this Halford's job here, was a bit dead. So I went to just put a normal battery in it, and I must have caught or moved one of the battery wires. And I took it up the road and I was like, right, okay, let's see if it's going. And then I smelled a bit of smoke. And I think the exhaust manifold I'd been pushing the wire onto that, and it just melted, shorted, and yeah, nearly burnt the entire car to the ground. Which is not exactly what you're after. It's not the sort of, I mean, whoever wins the raffle for this car, you know, would have had to come with a pallet. We just loaded all the molten bits of metal onto it. But thankfully I managed to save it just by ripping the battery leads off, and yeah, it was all okay. Sitting on the bonnet of this gorgeous truck, which I've just used to pull it back round, are these. Wowee, look at that. It was properly seconds from going up this thing. If I hadn't ragged those leads off, and there was actual flames, but I just managed to sort of put them out with my hand. But yeah, just a bit crazy. Just noticed that as well. Maybe that was something to do with it not being in the right place. Interesting. Anyway, I need to make some new battery cables. Thankfully, I've got this machine and I've got all the cable I need, so I'm just going to get stuck into making some new ones of these dead quick, put them on, and hope to God it starts and I've not melted anything else. Okay, 2 battery cables now with, just manufactured in this facility, which is fantastic. The only thing is I haven't got a connection for the 2 brown wires on this, which was the same as the old one, so we're going to have to do something with that. But I just want to get these into situ for the moment. I'm going to cover this thing in tie wraps once I've done it, just make sure everything's away from everything else, which I probably should have done initially, but I didn't, and I nearly paid quite a hefty price. These are genius. They're a cable tie with like a hole thing at the end, so you push it into a hole in the chassis that will keep it all together, which is what I'm going to do here. Nice. Okay, so that is now keeping that all nicely away from the exhaust, from the hot exhaust where it could potentially melt and burst into flames. Where did the negative? Try not to smash the windscreen at the same time. So here's sort of where we were an hour ago, but with less smoke and flames. everything's tucked away and tidied and sort of all nice, and nothing's gonna move around and hit anything, and the battery is as stuck down as it's going to need to be. It's not really the right battery for the car. It could do with a different battery on it, really, like the Halfords one that came off it, but I haven't got one. So if you do win this, add it to the list of things for you to get, and maybe a proper clamp to hold it down. Anyway, please to God, start. Okay, we've got ignition lights and the fan is back on. Thank God for that. Crisis averted. Oh, I still don't know if whatever it was I was playing about with is fixed or not, but I'm going to deal with that on the road tomorrow because it's about to go dark. It's about 6 o'clock, and yeah, I need to get a few things done before I actually hit the road, like packing this thing, because it's a good, I had a look yesterday, it's probably a good 5 or 6 hour drive, round drive. So God, thank God that's fixed. It didn't melt all that wiring that I did behind the dash. Okay, cool, right, see you in the morning. Psych, I bet you thought I was in the pub or something, but no, I'm still here. The thing arrived and I did the thing. I just had to get stuck into this because just in case it rains or something tomorrow when I'm on the road, I thought I'd do it. And we now currently have a very well attached roof. It was very self-explanatory and very straightforward, but it was a bit of a faff, and I couldn't film it while I was doing it because I just wanted to get it done. But yeah, the roof is fully fitted to the Triumph, which is great news. It's just, yeah, okay, because when you're driving along, when these aren't there, they flap out if you've got the windows open, and they go like that, so you have to attach these. So I've done it now, which is awesome. Anyway, I am definitely going home now. Okay, see you in the morning. Bye. Oh, it's a bit chilly this morning. A few weeks ago, this Triumph TR7 was sat in a garage and it didn't have tons of prospects, unfortunately. It needed a lot of work to bring it back round and to get it back on the road, and there just wasn't a queue of people waiting to do it, you know. But then I stepped in, and with a lot of hard work, a lot of messing about and reading wiring diagrams and all sorts of stuff like that, a lot of time, a lot of money, she's now ready and looking the part to go back on the road for the first time in quite a few years. We're going to take her up to Warwickshire, which is about a 2.5 hour drive. I hope she makes it. I'm sure she will. Is there any wood to touch? And hopefully we can do what I set out to do from the start, which is prove that the TR in TR7 does in fact stand for total reliability. Because one of you guys could win this sort of starter classic for only £1. Maybe not a starter classic, maybe just one to add to your collection if you have others. But you can win this for only £1. You're going to put your pound in the machine, go to there's a link in the description, but I'm going to tell you more about all of that later on. I want to see if it makes it there first. You know, this is going to be a very, very long drive for this car. It's not done anything like this for a very, very long time. So I want to make sure it gets there. And if it does, I'll get some more footage of it looking all nice and showing you what it can do, and then I'll tell you more about how you can enter the raffle to win it. But for now, I'm going to put all my gear in the car and we're going to hit the road. Let's have blowers on number 1. Lovely, yeah. One of the, and want it to go to screen. Yes, there you go. So one of the exciting things about today is that I emailed the British Motor Museum beforehand and said, hey, I'm going to come down. Can I have a look around your stuff? And do you mind me taking all of you guys with me? And they said, yeah, that's fine. But not only that, they've got a TR7 there. Well, they've got 3 TR7s there. that they're going to let me have a look around, so we can do a bit of comparison and see what they're like compared to this one, and have a look at all of their cars there, which is just, I'm excited to do, because I didn't get a chance when I went to Rustival, because I was outside all day, never got a chance to go into the museum, so it's going to be great. And a guy called James is going to meet us there, and he's going to show us all around, so really excited. Fair dues to them for offering to do that for us. It says 100 miles in 3 hours because the M6 is closed. Fourth gear. Considering she nearly burnt to the ground yesterday, she's doing quite well. All the gauges look good, well, the ones that work anyway. And this is fairly comfortable. This is a comfortable car. Pretty good. I checked all of the levels before I left this morning, and since I initially did the water in the first episode, it hasn't used a drop, which is superb. Really good. Oil and stuff, everything seems to be nice. So fingers crossed we're just gonna motor on down there, and you know, I mean, who knows, but guess we're gonna find out. She sounds really nice. The engine sounds so good, and the exhaust notes, beautiful. This is 60 mile an hour. It's pretty quiet, it's pretty smooth, it's pretty comfortable. Bit of a cruiser. The sun's out as well, and I think it's going to be out all day, and it's going to be nice, so I'm hoping later on we could maybe get the roof down. That'd be nice. I've barely made it a mile, and this is my first bit of traffic. Why is the traffic here? There's never traffic here. And all the sat-nav just says red. 2 hours, 56 minutes it says now. Let's try and get a few miles under our belt.
I just wanna go out on a walk with you. Baby, you know I just like to talk with you. You don't have to tell me anything that's new. I just wanna go out on a walk with you. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine, sailing over pavement with our two outlines. I like to see the shape you're in from time to time. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine. I just wanna see the same things you can see, understand the meaning on a new degree. Maybe that could happen when you're next to me. I just wanna see the same things you can see.
The traffic in the UK is insane. It's getting beyond now. Like, sat at these roadworks now, and what they're doing is they're, by the looks of it, doing the roadworks and sort of keeping the road open. And like, I've been sat here now for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, switched the car off. Everybody's turning around and going the other way. Bit of a problem. Not the only problem though. I'm going to stop soon and have a bit of a look at things, because I can hear and I can feel almost in the brakes like a brake's stuck on, which is weird because it's got 2 brand new calipers on it. So all the sliders and everything are new, so it shouldn't have any brake sticky on problems, but it feels like there's a brake stuck on. And I don't know why. Weird. So I'm going to stop soon and have a look. Oh. Engine's good though, and we're moving again. Right, I'll find the next place to stop and we'll have a little look. Brake fluid's all spot on. Not really sure what's going on. All the wheels are cold, everything's cold. There's nothing like hot or anything. Don't know what it is, the pedals have just sort of gone down a bit and it feels almost like a warped disc or something, which is not ideal. And I don't know why would it do that? Unless there's just like a little, like that thing there, unless there's been like a little bit of air and it's just sort of burped itself into the system and now my pedal travels further. I don't know. Very, very strange, very weird. Because the brakes work perfectly, they're just a bit further down. I don't know. I think maybe it'd benefit. I'll get a set of discs and pads maybe, and just sort of put them on, re-bleed the brakes. That should be it. But I mean, I'm hoping it's going to be all right to get me there now. Nothing's on fire, so I've got all the brake fluids there, and the brakes do work. Engine seems to be working. So I've only done about 15 miles. Far from ideal. It's rolling nicely. Like, that's just the car rolling down this very, very minor hill. Nothing's stuck on. Strange. Maybe just a little bit of air in the system. It's a nice car to drive, you know. It's not bad. The worry of sort of going from the older Triumphs, the proper sort of classic, real curvy shaped TR6s, Spitfires, that sort of thing, Stags, going into this was like, oh, there's going to be more electric, it's going to be incredibly unreliable and all this sort of stuff. But in reality, there isn't really much more. And what you gain from going into something like this, slightly more modern design, is so much. You gain so much because it does drive, apart from this like brakes issue, it drives like a very, very modern car. Like, it's so comfortable, the driving position, there's so much more space than you get in the older cars, the older design stuff. You know, you've got a nice little place for it. It's just everything, you know, the indicators all working, everything's nice and a bit better than like the Spitfire, for example. The Spitfire is just a bit of a nightmare to live with, really. It's very, very small and cramped. For someone as big as me, it is a bit difficult. But I know some of the older cars as well, you know, things do go wrong potentially a little bit more, whereas this seems to be all right. There's not loads of tech in it, but you do sort of get that more modern feeling. This is something that now I'm very, very comfortable driving, which is handy because I've got 2 hours and 22 minutes left to go. One annoying thing is, if you lower the window a little bit like I have, the poppers pop off on that side. It's a bit annoying because the window's sort of holding them in, so as soon as you lower the window it lets the air in and the air opens it for you. Diagnosed the brakes issue. We just didn't have the roof down. No, what it is one of the brakes, or both of the brakes, are definitely warped. They're like shaped like a prawn cracker, and every time I brake they're wobbling around so much that they're pushing the caliper back in, which means I get longer pedal travel, because if I pump it it stays right at the top where it's supposed to be. I wish I could find somewhere like en route that has a set of discs and pads for this that I could just fit to it. Wouldn't take me long at all, but because of the traffic and stuff, I'm still 2 hours away. Like it's crazy, but I don't mind. I'm pretty happy. The engine's perfect and the sun's out, so I put the roof down. She looks the business. Let's get some more miles under the belt with the roof down. Almost 2/3 of the way there, just over an hour left to go, and these brakes are almost non-existent now, which is a bit of a nightmare really. And I just thought I'd show you how bad they actually are. I think it was a Tasty Classics guy behind us, just beeping them. Anyway, so driving along, it's fine. It's pushed the caliper all the way back, so it's not making contact. It's making a tiny little bit that you can almost hear, but it's worse when I press the brakes. So watch the steering wheel now when I press the brakes, just even lightly. So bad. Just wants to career off. I'm going to come to a stop here and I'll show you about it. So to come to a stop, I've got to pump it a couple of times just to get the caliper there, and then look at that. So bad. It's almost worse than the Amiga after the Nürburgring, but it's bad. It's not good. Everything else though, again, touch wood, she's just motoring along, man. I'm getting more vitamin D today in this car than I've had in the last sort of 4 or 5 months. It's insane. It's so good. I'm thoroughly enjoying it, enjoying the drive, apart from the brakes. Sometimes I forget what they're doing and then I'll go to brake and there won't be anything there, so I have to very quickly remind myself. But yeah, pretty bad. I'll give you another demonstration in a second when I come to a stop. Look at that wheel shake. Oh no, it's not nice. I can feel it pulsing so much through the pedal. The pedal's just being pushed backwards and forwards. Really bad. Listen to that. I don't know how the brakes have got like this. Honestly, it's so weird. Must have been so hot at some point. In fact, I bet I know what it is. That caliper that I took off was not in very good condition, and I bet it was stuck at some point and it got super hot before the car was parked up, and I bet it warped the disc because the caliper was like stuck on. I reckon that's what happened. That's my hypothesis. This is. I'm only 32 minutes away, it says now, and I've just got problems. It's becoming borderline undrivable. So I've just phoned James at the Motor Museum and I've said, look, is there anywhere local to here that you know of that would have a set of discs for this, and I can just do it on the roadside, because it's just, this travel is so far that the disc's moving. Now I don't know what's wrong with it, but yeah, it's just becoming borderline dry. I'm worried that it's going to break something and not, you know, break the car, but it's not gonna, yeah, I'm worried that something's gonna snap or crack, or the brake pipe is being battered as it's sort of hitting the sort of inner wing, as it's vibrating so much. It's just and that could potentially lead to complete failure of the brakes. So yeah, oh fuck, bit of a pain. I need to try and find some brake discs. I'm half an hour away. Worst case is I could sort of nurse it there and then try and get something delivered to there, get home, get back with a truck. I don't know, I'll have to think of something, because I can probably make it there, but I'm not sure if I can make it home again. Annoying. Wish I'd just changed the discs and pads now. But you know, it's just, they looked fine. There was no lip on them at all. They looked like new. You know, the pads were like new, so it's just like, why would you just waste money? But someone's obviously cooked them at some point in this is life, and just warped them badly. But it's not something you can sort of visibly see. But potentially lesson learned there, maybe just change them anyway, because discs and pads probably only 60-70 quid, and it would have avoided this. Everything else is fine on it though, so far, touch wood. Right, I'm going to get on my phone and try and find somewhere. James at the British Motor Museum didn't have anybody that might have them sort of close to us now, but I found on Google a place called Motor Clan, which is classic car parts. So he's just gone to check now if he's got some, and then he's going to give us a call back, and that's 24 minutes away, so I can go there, get them changed, and then still get to the museum with plenty of time, hopefully. And I've just realised, well, I haven't got a jack with me. I just lift the car with one hand and take the wheel and disc off with the other. Nightmare. Fully equipped as usual. Just been putting my head under, and I can't see much, but everything looks like it's solid and nothing sort of is at risk of falling off, which is good. Like the brake pipe and stuff isn't banging against the wheel arch like I thought it was, so something's banging though, but it's not that. So just, yeah, still waiting for a call back. I've been using the handbrake to brake, and I could potentially go quite far with that, as long as I just keep my distance from whatever's in front. Cars are fun. It's all part of the adventure though, isn't it? It's maintenance as well. It's nothing to do with reliability, it's maintenance. I found a place that's got discs and pads. It's 37 minutes away in the opposite direction, which is really annoying, back the way we came. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go there and we're going to fit them in their car park, because this is borderline undrivable, and it's just because it's brakes, I don't want them to fail on me as I try and get home, because it's going to be dark when I'm trying to get home. The idea is to go and do that, and then I should, maybe, if it's 1:10 now, might be in luck of getting to the museum for about 3ish, so at least we could have an hour or two there and then drive home in the dark, but hopefully with good brakes. Right, let's hit the road. That's the noise it makes every time I brake. Sounds like it's going to explode. Birmingham, middle of Birmingham, on a Friday in the middle of the day. I'm at 17 miles left. I've already been going for 15 minutes and it says I've got half an hour left. Total, it was 20 minutes. Handbrake. So yeah, 45 minutes to do 20 miles. Roads are a bit of a joke. Look at the sun. Lack of roof delete. It's incredible. It could be a lot worse. I'm sort of thinking of the positives before I have to go and change a set of discs and pads in a car park with no jack. I don't know what it is with this section in Birmingham, but the road is made out of a corrugated iron roof. Bump, 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 bump. Why didn't they just make it all smooth like every other piece of road in the world? Bump, 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 bump. It would appear that I've made it. Magnifique. I've just been in and picked those up. Hopefully they're the right ones. I've got what tools I've got. Just met a dude in there, he's going to lend me a jack, which is amazing. And then, yeah, we're going to get these changed. What an absolute brilliant business. They've got so much good stuff in there as well. Wish it was closer to me, but yeah, it's not too bad. Max is here, he's helped me. He works here, his father-in-law owns the place, so he's lent me a jack, and we're just starting to pull it to pieces now. Pulled the pads out, and this is just crazy. You can see the warping better from in there. Look at that, I've never seen anything like that. And also, it's all just rattled, so the noise I could hear, all of these are loose. It's just been rattling itself loose. If I'd have carried on for much longer, the wheel could have potentially fallen off. Nice. Right, strip all that down, take this off, new one on. All of them hand tight. Crazy. Wouldn't have taken long.
So we've got everything here. Right. Even if you needed heat on it, we'll bring out the TR7.
One of the videos, Reliant Scimitar, yeah, I took it back to Tamworth, and the wheel fell off it on the road.
Slightly embarrassing, isn't it?
Just a touch, yeah.
There you go. It seems a shame to kind of like get rid of them, really, doesn't it?
It is, because there's no lip on them. I saw them, I thought they're like new then.
Let's have a look. I want to go and put this on the lathe.
Yeah.
Because if it's the hub and you're encountering some sort of optical illusion.
But I'll get these on anyway.
Yeah, we'll get them off and just check them on the lathe. See if they're... oh no, you can actually see it's bananaed.
Can you?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, take that one out of there, straight against the back of that. Yeah, let's look.
See if you can see daylight through it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah? It's banana, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see it moving.
Yeah.
Like a prawn cracker. Right. We are, as a country, we're shite at making roads, but blooming hell, we're good at like companies, car parts places. If you're near Birmingham, David Manners, what a guy. He says he wants to show me around afterwards, but I do need to get to the museum. Don't know, might make a trip out here especially again sometime.
Yeah, we went from an A4 to kind of 3/4 of an A4. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Oh yes, perfect. We might be all right. We might be okay. Just got to put a little one of those in there, but we could be on the ball. I'm going to get the other side done and get tidied up, and then we'll see what it's like on the road. Right, come on, baby. What are these brakes doing? Oh, yes! They're like brand new because they are brand new. I've got an absolute bead on. That was crazy. Max, the guy that showed me around, what a legend. I'm going to go back there and do some filming inside because he's just shown me this big press. And anyway, I'm going to go back another day when we've got another British car that we're doing stuff with. We'll go for a visit there because it looks so cool. And he's just saved my bacon, big time. Anyway, oh Jesus Christ, that was a pothole. James is waiting for us at the Motor Museum. We're going to get there about 4:20 and it closes at 5, so we're still going to be able to see some stuff, provided we don't get caught. And look at the brakes! Oh, I'm so pleased, so buzzing we did that. I would not have been able to drive this car home tonight. The wheel would have fallen off. The bolts, the 4 bolts for the hub were loose. That side was fine, just the driver's side. I haven't seen a disc that visibly warped ever. Usually you can't really tell visually, but that one you could see. Oh wow, amazing. So pleased. Come on, you beauty! I mean, we're not there yet and we're not home yet, so I'm just gonna, let's just take it easy. I've got 43 miles to do in my little Triumph. Oh, the roof's not attached. Oh. You fell off. You were attached to the roof. Right. Oh, that was a nightmare getting out of there. It was about 5 roundabouts in one. 43 miles. Fingers crossed we're going to get there. With the roof down when I'm doing this speed. I'm doing 70 mile an hour plus the VAT. It's just the car's transformed, completely transformed. It's like all the, because I've retightened the wheel bearings at the front and all the knocks and bangs that the car had, all the sort of vagueness in the steering, everything, it's all gone. It feels amazing. It's not just keeping up with modern day traffic, it's beating, it's overtaking modern day traffic. This is so cool, I'm so pleased we did that. The drive home now is going to be a million times better than it was. Happy days, thank God. 10 minutes away from the British Motor Museum in my Triumph TR7. So pleased. I've arrived, and I think James is coming to meet me.
Hi, how you doing? Well, we're currently in the collection centre building. So, as I said, we've got two main buildings. We've got the museum over there, and then we've got the collection centre here.
Nice.
The bottom floor, if you just look over the edge there, contains our workshop. Yeah, you can see the guys working on cars.
Oh, nice. What is that down there? Is that looks like it's some sort of SD1 estate or something. That's crazy.
Not a clue.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, but you see all sorts come and go in here.
Oh my God, that looks like it's worth about £1 million. I better not drop the camera on it.
Probably is. There are two parts to the collection centre as well. We have the downstairs, just as we come up the stairs, another entrance. That's Jaguar Daimler Heritage Trust collection down
Brilliant.
there.
So big Jaguar fan.
Lots of Jags in there, beautiful cars.
Amazing.
And then up here is our stuff.
Look at that roller in the corner there with its sketchy air suspension. Oh my God,
So
look at this.
This is essentially the spillover. So the museum has a more sort of robust layout, whereas the cars that don't make it into the various areas go in here.
I had no idea this was here. I had not a clue this was here. Oh, a wedge. What's that? That's a scimitar. Is it SS1 or something?
SS1, yeah.
Oh, wow. Not seen one of those in the flesh. Looking so nice. Good God. Oh man, I had no idea this was here. There's a million cars here.
Just going to have a quick check to see where exactly the...
yeah, cool. Do you want me to... I'll
yeah, have a wander around.
Oh, this is so... I'm so glad we made it. Look at how clean this Maestro is. Just sat there. It's like a brand new Maestro. I think that is actually a brand new Maestro. Yeah, 150 miles on the clock. Incredible. Look at that. It's just nice to see a 56 plate Freelander being sort of, you know, enjoyed as well, isn't it? What is this thing? What is that? Oh my God, what kind of vehicle is this? Looks like someone has hammered this into the shape of a vehicle. Incredible. It's a Road Rover Series 2 prototype, and it looks like one. There's simply too much to show you. I was just really enjoying this Metro here with a rear-wheel drive conversion, and then I didn't sort of notice the Defender on tracks behind it. That is incredible. It's so cool, isn't it? And look at this 6R4 here. What a job. So is this open to everybody? So everybody can just come and have a look around here?
Absolutely, yeah. So if you have a ticket to the museum, you get entry to the collection centre as well, yeah.
Oh man, you need to come here. If you haven't been here, just take a day out. Take a day out. I wish I had 10 hours to spend here. I'd look through
Honestly,
each car.
People do. You see people come in first thing and don't leave till last thing, so.
Yeah. Vanden Plas Princess. Wow. I've never seen one of those.
Oh yeah.
That's incredible. I've never seen half of the cars in here. I've seen about 1 million 02 plate Vectras though, but it's nice to see one on
absolutely.
display. Yeah. Oh look, there she is. Oh wow. So what did you say then, James?
So this is the last of line. So this is the last TR7, 1981.
Is this the actual last of the line?
The actual last of line, correct.
Wow. And anything happened to it? Restoration or anything? Or is this just how it was? Or
I can't say for sure. We can have a quick look at the plaque.
Yeah, let's have a look at the plaque.
I can give you a sneak peek inside.
So we can see inside it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Please, mate, let's have a look.
No worries.
Let's see how ours compares.
There we are.
So our roof's pretty much the same sort of design and stuff. So that's good, because ours has got a new roof, but this original one is obviously a little bit better fitting, I would say, definitely. Yeah. Oh, wow. We've done a total of 804 miles. That's what your speaker grille should look like, not the Pioneer one. Oh, man, and your seats as well. Oh, this is so nice. Such a nice car. Different gear stick as well. Oh, no stereo. Interesting. Everything else, though, is exactly the same as ours. Oh, steering wheel's slightly different as well. You've got a slightly upgraded steering wheel. And slightly different bonnet release catch. But the wire's hanging down, factory standard by the looks of it. God, they're in fantastic condition, aren't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'd hate to think what this is worth, but I mean, just such a nice... Is there any chance you could pop the bonnet? Could we have a look?
Unfortunately, I can't. That's a curator job.
Nice,
and
no, that's
fair. They've already finished the day, unfortunately.
No, that's fair. Oh, nice. So I'm just looking at like how ours are and how everything fits and stuff, and it's all very, very similar. I bet this one all works properly, though.
Oh, for sure.
So what do the curators do here? So do they maintain the cars? Do they look after the cars?
So, well, if we're talking about general car maintenance, that would be the workshop.
Right, okay.
Making sure everything's spick and span. New cars that come in that might not be in the best condition, sort of nursing them back to health.
So does the museum own all the cars, or are they other people's cars?
It's a mix. It's some are sort of, I guess you could say, rescued from shut factories, that sort of thing.
Wow,
some are donated,
cool.
Left in legacies,
yeah,
and
nice.
a lot of it is loans as well. You know, people own the cars, and
yeah.
So it's a very, very good mix. But yeah, I mean, the curators are super knowledgeable. They're sort of anything to do with the history of the cars themselves. They can tell you absolutely anything. So if you've got any questions about this TR7, I'm sure if you ping me them in an email, I can find out the answer for you.
Brilliant. I mean, it's a dream job for someone, isn't it, being a curator of a museum like this? This has got to have a mention. This is possibly the coolest looking Vauxhall I've ever seen. Big Vauxhall fan, and I've never seen this before. It's a VX Lightning, as it says on the number plate there. Oh, why didn't they build this? You know, you think that with prototypes, don't you?
Honestly,
you go, what?
Well, inside the museum itself, we have a concept section, and
brilliant.
It will leave you thinking that for the rest of the day.
Yeah. Mark II GT6 there as well. Oh my God, right. With stuff like this here as well, I mean, if you're gonna take on a restoration of any kind of car, and they've got one here, I mean, you never know, it might be cut in half like this, but it's just well worth having a look at. It's just so good to see how everything sort of goes and where everything ends and where the panels end and stuff. You know, if you're restoring one, so good. I mean, I'd kind of walk almost straight past that. What is it?
It's a concept Land Rover that never made it to light. Not convertible, it's entirely topless.
It's a California car.
Yeah, essentially. So 2011, this was dreamt up, I guess.
It's really cool looking, isn't it?
Oh, for sure.
Really cool looking. I mean, my TR7 spent majority of the day without its roof on. Oh, fantastic. Dead cool. So this is the main
so
building.
This is the welcome gallery here, and we have our most iconic lineup here. So AOK is the first Mini.
The first Mini.
Huey is the first Land Rover. So
fantastic.
production, I guess.
Yeah. And I mean...
Yes, this is our Ford collection. Recently came in last year. And just a great collection of cars to have here. It's nice to have some Ford representation.
It's lovely to see an SC170. It's, superb, really good. And yeah, I mean, I'm a big Ford head. I'm just doing a Capri turbo.
Oh, really?
With an ST170 engine,
wow.
turbocharged in a Capri.
Yeah.
And I've got a Granada, but I've got a really rare one. I've got a Mark V 3-door
wow.
Granada, so there's not many of those left.
No.
So it's nice seeing these.
Oh yeah, well there you go. We've got a Capri here, but it's the 4x4. It's the Ferguson.
What? 4-wheel drive Capri.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of that. That's, I just gotta pop my head underneath there. Oh my God, there's a drive shaft. That's in a Capri, that's crazy. I've never seen that before in my life. I didn't even know that was a thing. Yeah, amazing. There's a lot of cars like that here, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you find that this sort of stuff, the pre-war type things, the vintage cars, is there much? Is the interest of those things going down, or is it? How do you?
I think naturally you're going to say that certain eras of car, the interest is going to go down over time as generations move on.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's important. I think we think it's important to highlight the history more than anything.
Of course, absolutely.
And sort of see how we got to our favourite cars.
Great point. Yeah, I agree. You've got some cool Vauxhalls here, haven't you? What is that?
Yeah. Well.
What is that?
So yeah, this is the concept section I was talking about, and we got some weird and wacky cars.
I mean, I've never seen anything like it before in my life. That's incredible. Yeah, and I mean, it's got a Viking badge on the front of it. Looks like a kind of a Land Rover. Wow.
So yeah, a bit more Jaguars over here. So this is, Jaguar also have their own section in the museum. So just to the right of you, you'll see the Jaguars there. And then straight ahead, we've got our sports cars with the chopped in half MG there that people like to look at. That's an absolute goldmine for people that love any sort of mechanics.
Yes, if it's someone restoring one of those, I'd imagine it'd be quite a nice thing to see. That's crazy. How did they cut it in half?
I don't think I could tell you. We might be able to have a look if there's a sign nearby.
It's gone as far as everything, the radiator.
Let's have a look.
Look at the internals of the engine. Even chrome bits. This is so cool. Oh, wow. It's a 65 half section.
Yeah, here we go. Affectionately known as the divorce model.
Brilliant. Oh, massive fan of that. There are so many amazing cars here. I mean, I'm definitely going to come again with something that, is going to get me here earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's just so much to look around.
Yeah, well, what I would say, I mean, if we're prioritising time now, the Vauxhall collection upstairs.
Yeah, go on.
If you're a Vauxhall man, you've got to have a look.
100%, yeah. One of the oldest manufacturers in the UK, Vauxhall, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah.
We've got to show them the sort of credit they deserve, really.
Well, I mean, it's a big topic at the moment as well with the closure of the Luton.
Absolutely, yeah. Potentially unfair closure of that, yeah. Stellantis, they're just killing everything at the moment. I think they said to a lot of their manufacturers, you've got something like 6 months to turn it around or we're going to close you down.
Wow.
Which is rough if you're any of them. Big favourite, Calibra over there. And the Mark IV Astra doesn't get enough credit. Really, really nice car. I want to do one of these one day, a GSI.
Oh yeah.
They're smart, they're dead smart.
Yeah, beautiful car.
You tended to think old cars were small, but they're not really, are they? They're absolutely massive. Firenze, Chevette's over there. And the Calibra. V6.
So yeah, this is probably the best place as well to see the rest of it in the short time we have. So this is our motorsport section.
Rally car, TR7?
Yep.
Amazing.
So that, yeah, it's got a V8 in it, I believe.
Yes, nice.
We've got the land speed record cards down the end. That concept MG down there gets a lot of torque.
I'll zoom in on that. You can't even work out what that is. Is that even a car?
Yes, so it's actually a concept, sort of reimagining of that land speed record, the green one just there, the teardrop.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
So it's sort of their modern, you know, if we were to make it now for a land speed attempt, that's what it would look like.
And I can't help but notice your Astra Nürburgring Edition VXR Astra there. Again, a car I desperately want for the channel. Like,
really?
So we do loads of Nürburgring stuff, and that is a car that I've wanted for the collection for a while. And I can't believe you've got one sat there, because it's not exactly the most glamorous thing in the world, is it?
Well, I believe there was a car sat there previously. I think it was a Cooper, and that, as happens with museums, space has become available, and we had that lying around. Thought, you know what, that'll fit right in the motorsport section.
It definitely will. I mean, it's very, very cool. The whole place is amazing, and you could spend hours and hours and hours here.
For sure. I mean,
really?
We've got Land Rovers over here.
Is that a Judge Dredd car?
That is Judge Dredd. Yeah, that's the Tomb Raider.
Oh, awesome!
And then underneath us, we've got both the Only Fools and Horses. We've got the Capri and the Reliant.
Amazing.
And of course, the Harry Potter Anglia over there.
Yeah, brilliant. Is that a DeLorean poking its nose
Yes, that
out?
is. Yeah.
Oh, mate, I won't take up. I won't take up any more of your time. You know, this has been amazing just to squeeze us into the other places after
honestly,
they
absolute
closed.
pleasure.
You know, this is brilliant. This is so good to see. And it's a Spitfire on the.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a GT6, not a Spitfire?
I think it might be a GT6 because that's the one that's sort of stacked on 3 levels, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Oh wow, there's just stuff you could spend ages looking at everywhere, isn't there? That MG EXE prototype over there, stacked on top of a box. It's just fantastic. What a great place. But look, mate, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for sort of squeezing me in. And I will come back again when there's more time. And if you guys, we're in Warwickshire. It took me 3 hours from Chester. Just make the trip, man. Make the trip.
Make a day of it.
Yeah, make a day of it. So good. Right, let's try and make it home. Despite the sort of setbacks today, this has been one of the most fun days out for a while. And it's nice to sort of get out of the workshop for a bit as well and get some vitamin D. What an amazing day. Look at the sky. Have you ever seen a sky with no clouds in it? Amazing. Beautiful blue sky and a beautiful blue Triumph TR7. This thing, driving it back then, I forgot to pin all these down again because I put the roof down. Driving it from when I did the brakes, it's completely changed. It feels so much better. It feels just like a brand new one. I'm really, really pleased I did that because the drive home now is going to be hopefully nothing but joy. The engine's superb. Everything inside is nice. The heaters and everything are going. It's just fantastic. I'm so glad that I got this thing back on the roads. Well worth it. Well worth it. What absolute star James was, eh? Taking me round just before we went home on a Friday. He gets me turning up. And he just went out of his way to get us into these places and, tell us what it's all about. You need to come down and have a look. This is so cool. I want to spend a lot more time here. I really do. One of the next cars we get, we're going to have to go and see the guys where I got the brakes from. They want to show me around their place. So we'll go and do that and maybe do that on the way here. Make another trip where I can get here a bit earlier and not have hours of traffic and brake issues. So I've got a 3-hour drive home, right, in this car now. My confidence level was there earlier on. It's now more like here. So I'm going to get behind the wheel and try and get some miles done. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to go out tomorrow. If this makes home and everything's nice, I'm going to go out tomorrow if the sun's still shining, and I'm going to get some nice pictures and nice rollers and all that sort of stuff of this car going. And I'm going to tell you all about how you can win this car, this Total Reliability 7, because it kind of has been so far. It's got me here, hasn't it? You know, how you can win this for just £1. So, spoiler alert, she did make it back. She made it back perfectly. So we took her out the next day, gave her a nice wash, and then took a load of photos and videos and just wanted to show you the car in all its glory, flying round the lanes. She really is a lovely little thing, and potentially a perfect starting point for your classic car journey if you want to get into one of these things, but have something that sort of works and runs and drives and stops, and you know, everything's, all the sort of tougher bits are done. You can just nip out there on a, you know, on a Sunday and swap some badges over or tidy things up and sand bits down and, you know, little things like that. So if you want to be the next custodian of this Triumph TR7, you can win it for just £1, which is pretty good, isn't it? £1 isn't a lot of money at all. And yeah, go to this website. It'll take you to, or you can go to the Tasty Classics website. Anyway, the link is in the description of the video, so you can click on there or go to the Tasty Classics website, click the link from there, do whatever you want, but it'll take you to a website where you'll put £1 in a machine, and then at the end of March, the draw will be drawn, and you may be coming down to the Tasty Classics workshop and taking your Triumph TR7 home. Now, it will get you home. I'll do a couple of other little jobs to it to make it all nice and just clean and, you know, give it a good valet and stuff so it's ready for you. It will get you home. But just be aware, this is obviously an old car, so if you're expecting to drive it to work and back every day and sort of not do any work to it at all, then it's possibly not the car for you. You are going to need to be a bit handy, and you're just going to need to get out there and get amongst it. Because it is an old car, you need to be able to improve it as you go. It's not perfect, it still needs a bit of work here and there, you know. There's just a few things for you to get stuck into on this car, but as an actual car, as a basis, it's a great starting point. Really, really is. It's a nice, solid Triumph TR7. It drove home from that road trip so well. What a great little car to drive. It was properly enjoyable. It was like, I went the A40 one way, it was all twisties, and it was great. And that's why I decided that yesterday we'd go out and get all those videos, take it for a wash, make it all nice. And I hope you enjoyed seeing it in all its glory there. I think it looked pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, it was so nice that I took it home yesterday and I brought it to work again this morning, and it just got me here perfectly. Listen to how well this thing runs. She's phenomenal. She's so good. And I think I've set out to make this Triumph TR7 a Total Reliability 7. And I've done it. I set out to do that. That's what I wanted to do. I saw this thing languishing in that garage, pulled to pieces with a load of problems, and we fixed them all. Well, fixed a lot of them, and now it is totally reliable. It would drive you to the south of France. If you wanted it to, it would definitely take you there. So yeah, a cool thing. But my work here is done with it. I'm gonna get it in there. I'm gonna sort of give it another wash and a polish and stuff, and just hoover it out, make it all nice, ready for one of you guys to come and pick up. But that is pretty much, I might put a new set of wipers on it because they needed doing really, just in case one of you comes and picks it up in the rain. Oh, and I need to replace a couple of these poppers, which did fall off because I put the roof down, do you remember? And they came off because I didn't. You're supposed to unclip them and then take the roof down. I didn't do that. so I need to replace those. But that's fine. I'll get all that done before you come and get the car. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. It's been great fun. Good couple of episodes of work on this Triumph. And one of the things I need to say as well is that this is the third Triumph I've done on Tasty Classics now, and they're amazing. They're like Rover MG will always be my favourite sort of British classic car manufacturer, just because they've got such a big spread of stuff. But nipping at their heels is Triumph. Everything you do on a Triumph is super easy, super well designed, very, very well engineered cars, and very simple. Not a lot to sort of, there's no real head scratching with this. Compare it to that XJS, for example. Huge headache. But this is just a nice, simple, two-seater, rear-wheel drive sports car. Plenty of go, plenty of power, makes a nice noise, and it's got a roof delete. I think they're great cars. Triumphs are brilliant. And I'm looking forward to getting the next one. Hopefully it might be something like a Stag. A Stag would be pretty good. I'd like to do one of those, but they're expensive, so I've got to find the right one. Or maybe like a GT6. GT6 would be really nice, wouldn't it? Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope you have too. And I will see you, not that long actually, because for the rest of the day today, I'm filming the car that's parked there, which is a Resurrection car, which is super cool, which was sat in a garage for 30 years, 3 decades. And we're about to get it running today. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye. Oh, hello. Welcome to... Bloody hell. Welcome to Tasty Classics, and this is part 2 of Total Reliability 7. And I'm just doing some welding at the moment, so bear with me, because my hands just caught fire. Oh God, look, it's happened again. Oh, hello. Welcome to Tasty Classics. And this is Total Reliability 7. Huh. It's happened again. But hi, welcome to Tasty Classics, and welcome to Total Reliability 7 Part 2.